Welcome to This Explainer. Whether you're a student gearing up for exam day or a parent guiding practice at home, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're completely demystifying the informative report for the NSW Selective High School Writing Test. It's a format that honestly trips a lot of students up, but by the end of this, you'll have a rock-solid understanding of exactly what the markers are looking for. Let's get to it.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our step-by-step blueprint. First, decoding informative reports. Second, the core report structure. Third, the leaf-tailed glider model. Fourth, common mistakes to avoid. And finally, the 30-minute strategy.
Section 1. Decoding informative reports. Before a student can write a great report, they need to know exactly what it is, right? So what is an informative report? By definition, it presents organized, factual information about a subject to help the reader clearly understand it. Now, I want to emphasize a really crucial word here: organized. A strong report is never just a random, scattergun list of facts. It actually requires you to actively select useful information, group it logically, and develop those categories. You aren't just proving you know things, you're proving you can explain them clearly. And that brings us to a critical distinction. Under the immense pressure of the exam room, so many students accidentally write a newspaper report instead of an informative report. Think about it. A newspaper report focuses on a specific event, like rare turtle rescued from Sydney Beach, right? It answers who, what, where, when, and why. An informative report, on the other hand, provides facts about a subject or a whole class of things. So instead of a specific rescue, it would be an organized report on green sea turtles in general, covering their habitat, diet, and life cycle. See the difference? Similarly, students often blur the lines between an informative report and an explanation. While they can definitely overlap, their core jobs are totally different. An informative report focuses on answering what is it and what are its features, like the types and locations of volcanoes. An explanation, though, focuses on a process or cause and effect. It answers how does it happen, like the step-by-step process of how a volcano actually erupts. You've got to keep your focus squarely on reporting the features. Section 2. The core report structure. Now, think of this as the ultimate blueprint you can use to guide practice at home. It's a 5-part structure for a highly effective report. It kicks off with a clear title that identifies the subject immediately. Next is the overview or classification. This opening introduces the subject, what category it belongs to, and why it's notable. Those 2 steps, perfect foundations. Then we move into organized sections with meaningful categories filled with developed facts. Finally, a conclusion that summarizes the biggest takeaways and leaves the reader with a clear final understanding. To make this super easy to remember when you walk into the exam room, we have a memory formula. Just remember these 5 words: classify, group, develop, connect, check. Classify what the subject is. Group information into meaningful categories. Develop those categories with specific details. Connect your sentences logically so the whole thing flows. And check your work for accuracy. It's that simple. So, the absolutely crucial point here is this. Under time pressure, depth is always stronger than a long list of undeveloped facts. Grouping facts into meaningful categories like habitat, diet, or adaptations is vastly more effective than just writing down every single random piece of trivia you know about an animal. Markers are looking for structure and deep thought, not a panicked brain dump. Section 3. The leaf-tailed glider model. Let's look at a masterclass example. Imagine a prompt asking for a report on a newly discovered rainforest animal for a children's science magazine. Here's how a top-tier student might open it. The leaf-tailed glider is a newly identified nocturnal mammal found in the upper canopy of eastern Australian rainforest. And this brilliantly illustrates the classify step we just talked about. It doesn't waste time with a waffling introduction like, there are many interesting animals in the world. No way. In one single sentence, it names the animal, classifies it as a nocturnal mammal, and tells us exactly where it lives. It gets straight down to business. Next, let's talk about development. Check out this contrast because it happens all the time in practice essays. A weak paragraph just gives a heading and one quick sentence like, habitat, koalas live in trees. Honestly, that earns very few marks. But a developed paragraph? It starts with a category statement, adds specific detail, explains it, and links it to something significant. For instance, leaf-tailed gliders live mainly in the upper rainforest canopy. Mature trees provide hollow nesting spaces. See how that actually develops the fact instead of just listing it? That is exactly what high-scoring development looks like. But wait, here's where it gets really interesting. The prompt actually dictates your style. Remember, Our prompt asks for a report for a children's science magazine. This means the writer literally has to adjust their tone. They should still maintain an objective, factual tone and use accurate technical vocabulary, words like nocturnal or omnivore. But because the audience is children, they need to include clear definitions or context clues right there in the text so those younger readers understand the complex terms. You absolutely must write for your specific audience.
Section 4, Common Mistakes to Avoid. Parents, you might want to grab a screenshot of this right now. It is a fantastic rubric to use when reviewing practice essays. Here are the classic pitfalls we see over and over. Slipping into a persuasive essay trying to convince the reader of an opinion. Using headings with only one weak sentence underneath. Inventing fake statistics. Injecting personal opinions like "I absolutely love this animal," and totally forgetting who the intended audience is. Let me give you some hard truth regarding fake statistics. Never, ever invent fake statistics just to sound smart. Seriously, writing something like, "Studies prove that exactly 87.6% of students agree," does not impress the marker. Actually, scratch that. It completely weakens your informative purpose because it feels so forced and inauthentic. Now, if the prompt explicitly tells you to invent a newly discovered animal, like our glider, then absolutely invent logical facts about its diet or habitat. But do not invent fake numerical data to artificially prop up an argument.
Another massive trap: valuing formatting over substance. Listen, subheadings are useful text features. They are not automatic marks. Don't waste precious exam time decorating elaborate layouts or underlining perfect little titles. 5 beautiful headings cannot rescue weak, undeveloped content. Use subheadings to logically organize your thoughts, for sure, but put your real energy into the paragraphs beneath them.
Section 5, the 30-minute strategy.
When that exam clock starts ticking, you need a plan. Here is our highly recommended time management strategy. 4 minutes to decode and plan, 23 minutes to write, and 3 minutes to check. Notice that we dedicate a full 4 minutes at the start just to planning. Jumping straight into writing the second the timer starts without a plan is a huge mistake. It's like trying to drive across the country without a map. You need a roadmap before you start driving. During those crucial first 4 minutes, you have got to decode the prompt. Use these exact questions to make sure you don't veer off track. Ask yourself, what is the exact topic? What is my purpose? Am I informing? Who is my audience? What form am I writing in? Is it definitely a report? And what specific requirements or mandatory details did the prompt mention? If you answer these, you'll ensure your report stays perfectly aligned with exactly what the markers are scoring.
And then, the final 3 minutes are for checking. And please, this isn't just a casual glance. You are actively asking, did I answer the actual topic? Did I maintain a consistent tense throughout the whole piece? Are my sentences complete? Fixing run-on sentences, subject-verb agreement, and basic spelling errors in these final minutes is absolutely crucial for securing those high marks in grammar and vocabulary.
So what does this all mean? As you continue your preparation, I want you to hold on to this core philosophy. The next time your child sits down for a practice run, ask yourself, are they just listing random facts, or are they truly explaining their world in a way that captivates a reader? Because remember, strong reports don't just give facts, they organize and develop them. Path to Selective, pathtoselective.com.